So I want to take a moment to just talk about, very briefly, the three factors that affect the Paleozoic climate, because two of them actually have to deal with the moon. So let's take a look at the first. The first is that the Earth spins faster and has shorter days. This has to deal with the proximity of the moon to the Earth. So remember, if we go back in time, right, if we go back, well, let's not go back that far. Let's go back to right the beginning of the Paleozoic. Right, so let's go take a look right at 540 million years ago. So today, right, the moon is way out here. That's now. 540 million years ago, the moon was way over here. It was much closer to the Earth. Because it was much closer to the Earth, the gravitational tug between the two was much greater. And because of that high gravitational tug, it made the Earth spin a lot faster. So because the Earth was spinning faster, the days were a lot longer. Were a lot shorter. Now let's look at the second one. The second one is that there's higher tidal effects. Well, just as we talked a second ago, if here is the Earth and the moon is so much closer, there's again that high gravitational tug. And because of that high gravitational tug, it tugs on the water a lot more. So that's going to make our high tides higher and our low tides lower. Now let's talk about the third thing. No vascular plants. So the first thing we have to think about is, what is a vascular plant? A vascular plant is a plant that has a root system. So, right, roots go down into the ground and they help the plant, right, get all of the nutrients, right, all of the water, right, out of the ground and into the leaf. Well, at this point there were no vascular plants. So let's think about what vascular plants do to the ground. So here, let's say I've got ground here, and let's say there's a sand dune on it. And here I've got another piece of ground with a sand dune. Well, let's say on one sand dune, we're just going to leave it. Right? There's no grass, there's nothing on there, and the wind is going to blow. What's going to happen to that sand? Right? Well, it's going to move, right? It's going to move much faster. So because there's no plants, we have a very high erosion rate. Now, on this dune, let's put some plants in here. And those plants, right, have roots that go down into the dune. So when the wind is blowing on it, sure, some of it's going to move, but not all of it. Because all of these roots in here are helping stabilize the dune and hold it in place. So when we have vascular plants, we see lower erosion. So because there were no vascular plants, we had very high erosion at this point in time, meaning there were lots of minerals, right, making its way out into the ocean. So hopefully you've seen where these three things that are going on can definitely affect the Paleozoic climate.